Hi everyone, and welcome to our video going over the Geometry Topic 9 Quiz 1. So Topic 9 had two assessments. One of them was shared with Topic 10, and one of them was dedicated to itself. This is the first one going over just Topic 9 stuff. In this assessment video, I'm going to be going over all the problems in the assessment. We have a retake version available now, so you can't do this version of the test anymore. That's because I'm giving you the answers as we speak, right? I'm going to be going over the questions to give you the answers, but I'm not going to be going super into detail on any definitions or explanations or proofs or anything like that. I'm going to be answering these questions just like you would on a test, okay? With the same amount of detail, the same amount of thought process going in there. But a lot of the stuff is going to rely on definitions and notation. That kind of stuff is in your notebook or available through other videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're looking at this problem and my explanation, you're going, I cannot follow what Mr. Cashmore is doing, right? You might need to go back and look at those videos to see me go in more depth on this. I'm going to be quoting and citing all my justifications, giving all my reasons, but I'm not going to be able to explain, the 10 minutes explanation I did to be able to talk about what is congruence, right? You're going to have to check the video for that one, or check your notebook and your definition if you took notes on it, right? But I will be showing how you would use your notes and your definitions to solve problems using those things, okay? So let's check it out. You'll see what I mean, and hopefully you'll see what I'm doing and you'll be able to follow along yourself, right? So what do we got going on here? What's the problem? Well, we need to complete each congruent statement given to us by naming the corresponding angular side that it's looking for. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, we got two triangles with all these red things on them, right? And we need to use those red markings to be able to solve for these correspondence statements below, right? Notice the target. You can really use the target to your advantage sometimes. I'll tell you where to be looking in your notebook. I'm identifying corresponding parts of congruent figures, right? So using this angle D, and I got this wiggly symbol that means corresponds to or is congruent to, right? Congruent to what angle? And notice, I know it's going to be an angle, right? Because angles correspond to angles and sides, the ones on the right, correspond to sides. So what angle does angle D correspond to? Well, luckily, look at my problem, right? What I have here is one mark, and over here I have another angle with one arc, right? Angles that share the same number of arcs, these are congruency markings, right? These markings indicate congruence. So angle D corresponds to and is congruent to angle K. Okay. Same thing here, two marks, two arcs, right? Two here. Angle E goes to angle J. Excellent. Next one, angle F. What does angle F correspond to? What is it congruent to, right? And angle F corresponds to, well, there's only one angle left to pick from, right? Angle I. So even if I didn't see the three arcs, I would know that. Now, where a lot of people got a little more stumped was how to put it together to get sides, right? Because I can use the side arc markings or side markings here, right? Congruency marks, but I don't know the order. And remember, order is important, right? I think a lot of people skip these italics. They don't really think to look at them, but I'm giving you hints in those. Use them. So DE has one mark and KJ has one mark, or is it JK? I need to make sure I'm following the same order, right? So DE, is it JK or KJ? Well, it's going to be KJ, right? And I'm going to put a bar over that. If you weren't able to draw your answer or write your answer, right, maybe you needed to use a text box. I could also say, or side KJ, if I cannot put a bar over it. But I would really recommend trying to put the bar over it using your drawing tool or your pencil or whatever. Okay, so next up, I have a drawing tool, so I'm just going to be drawing it that way. We're going to have EF. So EF, two marks, that's JI or IJ, right? Well, J to E, right? We just established that. So I can go JI, right? Now this time, I'm not even going to look at the picture. Check this out. I'm going to show off. I'm not going to use the markings in the picture. I'm going to use what's right here next to me. F goes to I, right? We've established that. So I here, and if I look on the left again, D goes to K, so it's going to be K. Didn't need to use the picture at all, right? That is why we make sure the order is important, because I can tell you just by this side thing that F to I and D to K is the correspondence. So I could have started by doing the ones on the right and then filling in the ones on the left, right? Pretty cool. Okay, moving forward, this time we're doing a very similar problem, right? Same instructions, but now I don't have congruency markings, right? I need to determine congruence in some other way. This time, I'm going to start with the sides a little bit, but I'm not going to be able to put the notation down super easily for a reason we'll discover shortly, right? So here, WU or UV or VW, right? Let's start with UV here. That's a 5. So it's going to correspond to the other 5, right? IH. Or is it HI, right? I'm not sure. because I know 5 goes to 5 because congruent sides have equal measurements, right? So same side length. So I know it's going to be that one, but I need to know about the angles too in order to figure out what order to write this in, because the vertices need to be in the same order. So now I need to go back to start with the angles, right? Okay, angle U, let's do that one. Well, angle U is between a 10 and it's between a 5. So if I look over here at the 10 and the 5, what's between those? I. So I know here I'm going to start with I, and this one's going to be angle I, right? Now I need to finish this with the second one. Well, remember, there's only one other option here. It's got to be the side that has a length of 5, right? And so over here, the length of 5, that leaves me with H. Over here, I have H. Good. That leaves only one option left, which is that W must correspond to G, right? And that means now I can fill in the rest without even needing to use the picture, right? Without even using the picture, I know VW corresponds to HG by using my table on the left here, right? And then likewise, I know WU is going to be G, right? GI. Again, most people got this, but they did not get the order of the points. They did not attend to that closely enough, right? So they needed to make sure to have the order of the points correct as well. And that's something that a lot of people got tripped up on. Okay. So again, how do I get the exact points to line up, the vertices, right? I need to look at what side lengths are around them. U is between a 10 and a 5. So I, also between the 10 and the 5, is what corresponds to U, right? Got to make sure you line up the points as well, or else it's not worth it. All right, our last question on this test. Some people, I think, might have just missed this page. They might have not noticed that page 2, right? Using the correspondence statement, I need to now find, or the congruence statement, I need to find all the correspondences and congruences, okay? So mark the angles and sides of the pairs of triangles to indicate they're congruent. Okay, a lot of people did not get this one. A lot of people. What happened? Well, I think most people just forgot about how we mark things, right? What do we use to mark congruence? Well, if I scroll up, I can see right here, right? We have these dashes or these tick marks, and we have these arcs, right? That is what we use to mark congruent pairs. So a lot of people just reiterated what they did above. They made a correspondence table or something. I want you to mark the triangles themselves, right? The angles and sides of the triangles. So let's do that. B is the first letter here, so it corresponds to M. Remember, congruent statements have to keep the order consistent so that we can get this information from it, right? So B, I'm going to mark with 1 marking, and M, I'm going to mark with 1. D has 2, it's the second, right? So I'm just going to give it 2. I don't need to go in any specific order. I could have done this in a different order, but I'm going to do it this way. I give it 5 if I want to, right? I will. Why not, right? I can just go 5 marks if I wanted to, right? No harm. And then C is the third letter, and K is the third letter, so they're going to have their own set of markings, right? All right, well, you can see why we don't, jump to 5 right away. It's a little uglier to see, so I'm going to fix that. Okay, so next up, I've done the angles. Now I need to do the sides, right? I can do that by using the statements here, or I can do it by just looking at the picture and the angles. Let's do it with both, okay? So if I look at BD, the first 2 letters, ML is the first 2 letters here. So BD, I'll give this, ML, I'll give this. I could also do it like this. I could say, well, BC, right, 1, 3, and so I'm going to give that double marking. And then MK, 1, 3, right, so I'm going to give that the double marking. That leaves only one side left to match, so that side matches, right, like so. So this is your answer. No extra work or writing needed. That's all I needed from you. No justification, nothing else, just showing me that you know how to use the correspondence or the congruent statement, right, to get these 6 pieces of information on the 2 triangles. And that's it. Okay, I hope that helps. Again, if a lot of this misses out, it's not really making sense. You don't know what congruence is. You don't know how to make a congruent statement. You don't know why the order matters. You don't know what correspondence means. Check those videos from the past, okay? Look at the linked videos, check those out, go through the YouTube channel, review that stuff. But hopefully this helps you see, if you do understand that stuff, how we use it to solve problems like this, right? That we can use the order of a congruent statement to find these other things, that we can use the congruency markings to complete congruent statements, and so on and so forth, okay? I hope you enjoyed the other videos in the series. I hope this helped you out. And if you have any other questions or any concerns, email me, and I'll be happy to help you out. Have a good day.